Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of There Will Be Expertos. I'm Jeff.
I'm Ron.
And Ron, I have an announcement.
What's that? You pregnant?
I am pregnant. You knew that one was coming.
Is it twins?
It's octuplets. I'm kind of running out of Star Wars characters for names. A little bit of a crisis, but I think I'll find a way to get through. Luckily, they're making more Star Wars movies, so by the time it comes out, I will have some Rogue One characters maybe to name. But actually, we'll make it good. I'm going to rearrange our notes because I actually segued myself into our shit. But we're going to start off by talking about, holy shit, I was not expecting this. Tomorrow, we get a teaser for fucking Rogue One, Ron.
It's pretty exciting stuff.
I'm fucking excited. Like, we have another one of those that are basically horse shit, but it's a teaser for the fucking teaser.
Yeah.
It's like 10 seconds long. But like
It's to build hype.
The one property you can get away with that, I think, is Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because if there's ever been anything that has iconic sound effects at Star Wars, because there's like...
I think you're going to say, because if there's anything that's ever been just hype,
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
No, that one was Force Awakens. That one already happened. But, I think Star Wars has like 12 sound effects that if you just hear that sound effect out of context, it's fucking Star Wars in your brain.
Yeah.
You're like lightsabers, the TIE fighters, like R2 and BB-8, like they all have like so many distinct sound of even like fucking like Darth Vader's ship had his own sound effect. Like it was crazy, like how much they knocked it out of the park.
And his asthma problem
is the Darth Vader's breathing. That's a good one. Like it's just like. The trailer, the teaser for the teaser is mostly sound effects. You get one really cool look at a new Stormtrooper design where it's kind of like blue and kind of like it's almost like a Stormtrooper bounty hunter type look to it.
I couldn't tell if that was new or just a TIE fighter pilot outside the TIE fighter.
It's a new one because because the TIE fighter pilots, I think,
because it kind of looked like a TIE Interceptor pilot.
Because I think they had more of like the little connected breathing tube type looking thing on the front, and this one looked a little bit more almost like, oh, there it is right there actually. It's kind of like one of the first order ones mixed with a little like Jango Fett almost. Like it's either way, it's cool. I cannot wait for Rogue One. Coolest thing about Rogue One, we talked about it numerous times, is anyone can fucking die. That has never been a thing in Star Wars. Many Bothans will surely fucking perish. I'm super stoked. It comes out tomorrow on Good Morning America, and if that seems random, it's because
they need ratings. That's why it's random.
Well, that and it's because ABC obviously runs Good Morning America, and the more hits they can get for them is literally giving themselves money. So,
right.
Yeah. So I can't wait. We will have next week our reaction to the actual teaser trailer. This next story, I have a little bit of mixed feelings about. So, one of our favorite films last year, I don't think it ended up making it into either of our top fives. Was it in your top five?
No, I don't think I'd seen it yet at that point.
It was an honorable mention for me. I think it might have been my only honorable mention. It was fucking close, but I think The Martian beat it for spot 5 just because I have an attachment to The Martian. But Sicario, one of the better films last year that we saw. Fucking great acting.
One of the best films in a long time, too.
Great acting across the board. Everyone was fantastic. Great tight script writing. Like there was hardly a dull moment in that movie, I thought.
Yeah.
Very dark, very poignant ending, like just great fucking movie. Well, the news is they are apparently, because of the critical success, and it probably ended up doing pretty solid, I guess, on DVD, because this is just now kind of becoming a thing. It wasn't when it was released in theaters. But we're getting a sequel to this.
Well, I assume when it was nominated for everything that was nominated for, people went out and redboxed it and bought it or whatever.
It actually was one of the biggest snubs at the Oscars. Yeah. Like they really, like Benicio del Toro not getting a nomination.
That's ridiculous.
That's a fucking crime.
Yeah.
He was, in my opinion, the best performance I saw last year. I think every time he was on screen, didn't even have to talk. Like he was a presence in the room.
Yeah.
I just thought he was fantastic. So fuck the Academy for not even nominating him. But
and he's not white. When they went back and revamped everything,
right?
He should have got something.
So we are getting a sequel with.
It wasn't street enough. Is the problem?
Yeah. Fuck. Never.
Every chance I get, I'm
still shaking my head at that stupid ass quote. We're getting a sequel to Sicario. It is being worked on right now. I think they're in the script writing process right now. Basically, everyone is back, but the director.
Same writer too.
Same writer, the director, Denis Villeneuve. We actually figured out to fucking pronounce his name correctly.
Now, he's said also the writer, has said also that when he wrote the first one, he had ideas on what to do in a sequel.
Okay, that helps a little bit.
But he never actually thought he's going to get a chance to pursue any of it.
The director is not attached, and he won't be attached because he's doing Blade Runner 2.
Okay.
I don't even know what they're exactly calling it. The new Blade Runner.
The new Blade Runner. New 3DS.
Yeah, I was going to say, fucking Blade Runner.
New iPad.
Brought to you by Nintendo. I have mixed feelings.
I would totally, if I was a movie writer, I would totally title my sequel The New Whatever.
The New There Will Be Expletives. We are rebranding. No, I have mixed feelings about this just because, like...
Everything was so solid?
Everything was so solid, and I don't have a problem with them making more movies off of Sicario. What I think I have a problem with is the fact that they are continuing Emily Blunt's storyline.
Right.
Because in my opinion, without spoiling anything, her story seems to wrap up and have kind of, I mean, it's a really poignant moment in the film, which was, to me, the ending of her storyline. And it was done so well that I think you're almost kind of like... Obviously, we'll always be able to go back and watch the first film and enjoy it on its own merits, but to me, you're kind of cheapening it a little bit by adding on. If this was a straight-up Del Toro spinoff, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I should say I wish this was a Del Toro spinoff, or maybe a little bit of Brolin, but... My mixed feelings come from specifically just Emily Blunt's involvement. And I'm not saying like I don't want her involved. I love Emily Blunt. I
get what you're saying, because there's literally a million different ways this could go. The Josh Brolin stuff was interesting. The Benicio del Toro stuff had all kinds of interesting backstory.
You could make a trilogy off of just del Toro's character.
Yeah. So... I mean, there's all kinds of different ways it could go. I mean, the next one could have circled around Josh Brolin needing to call him in again, you know? Something as simple as that.
What I'm hoping is this basically is a Del Toro spinoff, and Emily Blunt is in it, but she's not the focal point. It's now Del Toro.
Yeah.
Which, if that's the case, I'm totally...
And it very much could be.
It very well
the
could
truth
be.
is we don't know anything
We
about
don't know.
it.
I just... I wish... As much as I love her, I wish Emily Blunt wasn't returning for the film. That's, I guess, my thing. But I'm going to be watching opening weekend because I fucking love that first movie.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
To me, for everyone to return, you know, sign back up and everything, I think it's all good signs. When you got the same writer and the same cast...
that was a good sign. Everyone seems to be kind of excited for it. That's a good sign too. Like they feel like they have, you know, the more they want to contribute to that universe they've set up. But yeah, and also just like fucking Hollywood is like, they're scrounging for every little bit of IP they possibly can milk for. Yeah.
You know, if it sucks, like you said, we still got the first one.
Yeah, I'm still excited for it.
It wraps up in a good enough place that you could never buy the sequel and be happy.
I'm still excited for it. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. From here on out, for a while, nothing but comic shit. So strap in, Ron. Here we go. The first one, dude. Speaking of shit, I'm excited for. The Killing Joke released a featurette, which is like 12 minutes long. So if you don't, want to know anything going in our anti-spoiler, I would recommend Googling images from this instead of actually just straight up watching the featurette, because, I mean, for 12 minutes of material on it...
The first person that hears you say that Googles the wrong fucking image and spoils everything.
Go to like Nerdist or Collider and then search within the site for images, I guess I should say, from the thing, but... Yeah, because you can't have a 12-minute featurette without... I can imagine spoiling a whole lot of shit.
That's a lot.
That's a long time. It's not all... Now, in their defense, from what I've heard and what I've read, it's not all straight up like 12 minutes of the movie. It's like a lot of the creative teams...
People involved.
Creatives team talking about the way that they approach, maybe their thoughts in the comic, just like straight up talking about that. Like, it's not just 12 minutes of the movie. I don't want to sell it incorrectly, but... I didn't watch it because even though I've already read that comic, I want to know as little as possible going into everything. That's how you and I kind of see everything.
It's not going to be... What it's going to be is mostly images from the movie, and it's going to switch back to them talking for a second, and then stuff from the movie. So,
which is the main thing I wanted to talk about, because the art style is gorgeous. The art style is 50% Batman the Animated Series, and then 50% the comic artist art style, which is very... grim looking. Every shot you see of the Joker is menacing. It all looks fantastic.
Is Bruce Timm on board in this?
Bruce Timm?
Is that his doing? That can only be his doing.
I believe the Flashpoint Paradox director is actually the director for this,
right.
And the Dark Knight Returns director.
But the animation style.
But yeah, he is on board as an executive producer, so I could imagine him having some input on that. But I think Brian Boland is the comics artist name. Just like a very, very cool callback to him. Just like they did, like the Dark Knight Returns had a lot of imagery from the cartoon. Like I thought they did a good job blending their art style they had from their own animated universe with the comics. Like it's very, very cool. And I cannot be more excited for this. Killing Joke, one of the most iconic Batman stories, and to me is the most iconic Joker story.
Yeah.
If you go back and listen to anything Nolan and Heath Ledger talked about, they couldn't go 3 sentences without talking about the Killing Joke, because it is iconic Joker stuff. They've said they've had to bump up and probably add, a good sizable amount to the story to make it work for an 80-minute movie.
Yeah.
Normally, I would be concerned about that, but this is Bruce Timm and company, and the guy who directed Flashpoint Paradox and Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2.
It'll be good.
It'll be good. Hamill and Conroy are returning for it. That's a big deal on its own. That's a good sign. Could not be more freaking excited. Another DC project we're both fucking looking forward to. Cannot wait. Wonder Woman. The one fucking takeaway from that movie, which we shall not name, is that we're fucking stoked for Wonder Woman.
You just killed me. That was gold.
So, I encourage anyone who is interested in Wonder Woman to go ahead and Google some of these set images that have popped up, because some of it just looks awesome. Like, you get more shots of the Amazons. There's a good, 30 or 40 of them running around on horseback.
Something like that, yeah.
You get a lot of close-ups of Gal Gadot and Chris Pine. Their costume design is fucking money. Ron has been pointing out, we're looking at one of the Amazons, the design work on their shields are cool. They legitimately look badass. You do not want to fuck with them.
Xena would walk away. Xena would just walk away.
It's basically like Xena on steroids, like everything about the Amazons.
Which, by the way, seeing this gives me more hope for the Xena thing than wanting to revive, but still.
So it's in World War I.
Yes.
And one of the images you see is it looks like a little boat of soldiers.
Yes.
I think was one of them. So do you think they're out, you think they're going to maybe do a little Bermuda Triangle almost type thing? And then they end up washing up on shore?
That it kind of looks like they're washing up on shore to me. I just, there's not enough to figure out what's happening. I don't know.
They murder everyone but Chris Pine.
Yeah, I don't know. Because, it's death sentence for men to step foot on the island, right? This is an
depending
era,
on your which comics you're reading.
Yeah. So, which I have a feeling that's probably the way it's going to be in this. Excuse me, I'm still dying from your comment. But yeah, I had a thought and I coughed it out.
You're talking World War I soldiers washing up on shore.
So it's most likely a death sentence for men to step foot on that island. And you're talking about an era when the military was all men. So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting moment in the movie. That's all I was going to say.
Could you imagine? World War I sucks enough. And you're fucking shipwrecks, and you're like, oh my god, there's an island, we're saved. And it's
full of beautiful women.
It's full of beautiful women who happen to want to murder all of us. I guess if you got to go out, getting stabbed by Gal Gadot is probably one of the things I would want to have happen to me.
It's just too bad there was no snoo. All I can think is Futurama right now, dude.
The other thing, in addition to the set picks, Warner Brothers has bumped up the release date 3 weeks to June 2nd of 2017, so we were getting it a little bit sooner.
Yes.
That's a little bit of Warner Brothers. We got to recap some of those dollars we spent on the BVS marketing that didn't turn out right. Did you see?
Is there anything around that time they're trying to avoid also?
Probably. The movie slate for comic movies by itself is batshit, but when you just look at the landscape of the movies we have coming out over the next 2 or 3 years, it's ridiculous. So they're very well could be. But did you see BVS probably won't hit the $1 billion mark?
Oh yeah.
So
a movie that has Doomsday, Batman, Superman, Lois Lane, Lex Luthor,
Wonder Woman,
and it's not going to hit $1 billion? Like, what the fuck, dude?
The reaction.
You've done screwed up when...
If you didn't hear this, Warner Brothers has basically been freaked out so bad by them not getting $1 billion, which it could. It's going to be a freaking miracle if they get there, but they could, but it's not looking good right now. But Warner Brothers has actually basically said, we're going to do over the next few years until we kind of get back on track, because they've lost a lot of money with, what was that one that the Matrix siblings did? You know the one I'm talking about? That we wanted to see. It was like the giant with fucking Channing Tatum with the wolf ears.
Yeah,
that one they lost a lot of money on. There was something else they lost a lot of money on.
I cannot
think. Fucking totally blanking on it. But yeah, they basically said over the next few years.
Oh, Jupiter Ascending.
Yes. They basically said because of some of their products that haven't turned out good money return, and they've lost money on some things. The Lego movies, the DC slate, and the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them are basically all that's going to be coming out. They're focusing only on the shit that can make money like now, because they've been losing money.
Yeah.
So there you go. Wonder Woman's being bumped up. They're getting dollars as soon as possible, because other than Affleck and Jeremy Irons, the only positive thing to come out of that movie was her. So it's smart of them to bump her release date up.
I have something else to point out, too. Every photo that has ever been released from this movie, except with the exception of the footage that was released on the Kevin Smith thing that was on CW, everything is on the island.
Yeah?
Every photo that has ever come out of this movie so far. Because that was one of the first ones. Gal Gadot posted that herself on Twitter. I wonder if it's going to do the Man of Steel thing where you have like 20 minutes on the island or something.
Do you want to know what I think's going to happen?
Show up, but obviously, whatever it is that happens in the rest of the movie, they're not showing you shit from.
You want to know what I think the movie setup is for the first 30 minutes? I don't think you see Wonder Woman or Gal Gadot until about 20 minutes in. I think they start out
World War
I soldiers, and Chris Pine is leading it for the first 20 minutes or so until they go up on the island, and then it's kind of like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I think it'll be set up like that, and then from there, where they go is interesting, because if the whole movie is, mostly on the island, like, who exactly is the villains? Like,
yeah,
I'm really, really, really curious. I'm actually glad that we don't know as of this moment as much about it as we did like Suicide Squad from their stuff coming out,
or Batman vs Superman.
Fucking Batman vs Superman. It pains me that I'm hesitant, even though I'm so excited to watch the first trailer they end up doing for this movie, because if I'm watching that trailer and I'm like a minute in and it starts to look like they're
showing Steve Trevor die.
Chris Pine gets beamed up back to the Enterprise so Gal Gadot doesn't murder him. But yeah, if it starts looking like they're throwing everything at the trailer, I very well might pause and then not watch any fucking thing else until the movie comes out. And that makes me sad.
Yeah.
That I can't even allow myself to get hyped up, because why the fuck should I trust their marketing department on anything? But yeah, while we were talking about Warner Brothers, this was also interesting news coming out the last couple days. They have added 2 untitled DC projects to the slate. The first one set up for October 5th, 2018, and the other one is November 1st of 2019. Ron, what are your predictions on these 2 slots, what they are?
I have no idea. I almost wonder...
I can tell you mine. The October 5th, 2018 is, I'm saying 95% Batman. Like,
see, and I was thinking that 19, after the reaction everyone had in Batman vs Superman, could be Wonder Woman sequel.
Let's see. Okay, so
because
Wonder Woman,
we're at 2016 now.
That's a good call. That one might be left untitled to gauge reaction, and then we're gonna either move ahead with this one or try something else.
Yeah.
The October 5th of 2018. I almost guarantee you, we hear at Comic-Con is the Batman. Is the Ben Affleck directed and Jeff Johns a Ben Affleck script for the Batman, because like we were just talking about, what are the two characters that anyone has any interest in right now? It is Batman and Wonder Woman, and that's it.
It sure is fucking Superman. You and I are the only ones that like Superman in any of these movies.
So what do you think about that 2019? Let's say, hypothetically speaking, Wonder Woman is a good movie, but doesn't make the money they want. So they're not jumping at the bit to make a Wonder Woman 2. Do you think maybe Man of Steel 2? Like, you think there's any chance?
I don't think we'll ever get Man of Steel 2.
You don't think we'll ever get another one?
No, not after the way it was torn apart. I don't think they will.
It's just the thing. Okay, so like, here's the thing though. If they are coming out and directly telling you like, we are franchise based right now, at that point it really can't be like a Shazam, or it can't be something like that.
Yeah.
Like, or one of the ones being thrown around is, you know who Lobo is? Lobo is kind of like DC's equivalent to Deadpool. He's like this bounty hunter type dude.
Okay.
A lot of people are saying, like, with the success of Deadpool, is that going to be, like, their answer to that? But you can't, if they're that money-focused, you can't experiment. It has to be. And who are their most two iconic characters, even though Man of Steel got torn apart?
Right.
I think Man of Steel 2, as long as Justice League Part 1 isn't as big of a shit show as BVS was, I think Man of Steel 2 would make at least a return on investment.
Yeah.
Like, they wouldn't lose money on one. I don't know. It's fascinating, though, to me.
Yeah,
like,
it's... The whole thing is a shit show. Like, I don't know. I can't tell anything. I don't know what they're going to do, because, like you said, they've only got two characters anyone gives any care for at all. So
they should care for Superman, but
I don't know.
The
I think
fans' reaction have torn it apart. They themselves tore Superman apart in
Batman vs Superman, and everybody seems to dislike Henry Cavill except you and I. And at this point, they're too invested in him to change him. So,
maybe I'm hoping they get.
I would like to see a Man of Steel 2 with Brainiac or someone, but
a little bit of like Metallo as a sub-villain.
Metallo, yeah, something.
Yeah, it's just it's scary how much this seems like we're throwing shit up to see if it sticks. Like, it's scary. But yeah, 2018 October 5th, if that is the Batman, I'm excited for it.
Yeah,
I'm super interested. I'm really hoping they learn from the Murder Batman response, and this is set either 10 years prior, before the Robin death happens and he goes batshit. I know what, pun intended on that one. I'll take that one. I'm hoping it's 10 years prior, before Batman becomes Murder Batman, or it's after Justice League Part 1 in the BVS ending, to where he's now like, okay, I'm not going to be this murderer that I have,
And you know what sucks about Murder Bat that we got? If I'm right, and they got Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Thomas Wayne because of Doo-Doo Flashpoint Paradox, and he becomes Murder Bat, then I've already seen Murder Bat. That's not mind-blowing or shocking or anything about that.
That's a good point.
That's the thing I hate the most about that.
Well, I think it would still be shocking and awesome just because it's fucking Jeffrey Dean Morgan being Murder Batman.
Dude, what I wonder about that, if that is what they do, is to what scale is he going to be Murder Bat? Because the whole shock and awe of that was Thomas Wayne just shooting fuckers in the face. So,
and you got a little bit of that in the Nightmare sequence, because Batman is shooting people in the face, like straight up Flashpoint Paradox mode. It's just that it's Bruce Wayne in that continuity.
So I'm just curious now, to what level is he going to be Punisher? Because
it's interesting.
Because they got to blow your mind somehow. That was supposed to be shocking in Flashpoint Paradox.
But I think the speculation is correct. I don't think we're going to know anything until Comic-Con.
Yep. Because
the thing that is working for Warner Brothers' favor is actually, at Comic-Con specifically, is the fact that Marvel isn't showing up at Comic-Con anymore.
I wonder if one of those could be Titans. We don't have any dates on Cyborg. And rumor has it Cyborg is being retconned into Titans.
Yeah, we can actually talk about a little bit of that right now. The next thing up is talking about Cyborg is now being hinted at via Deborah Snyder, that he is potentially going to be a heavy part of the solo Flash movie. What are your thoughts on Cyborg in that?
I'm fine with that.
I think it makes sense because what we've been talking about as far as Warner Brothers scared and being focused on return on investment on their income, I think you can't really afford to have a Cyborg solo movie at this point.
No, you can't, because they can't, like you said, they can't afford to experiment. And while Cyborg is a known character and a generally well-liked character, he doesn't have the fan following, I don't think, at this point. It's like you said before, Marvel earned the right to have an Ant-Man movie. DC hasn't earned the right to have a Shazam movie. They haven't even earned the right to have a Cyborg movie yet. So
I think you're right. I think Titans is the way to go.
I think what they'll do, what they have to do at this point, since they're trying to speed this along, no pun intended, actually, is if you want to introduce the B team, to do it in the A team's movies. So add Cyborg to Flash, add some of the other characters to some of the other ones, and they're not necessarily team up movies, but they're duo movies.
Or okay, like let's say we got Cyborg developed a little bit more in the Flash movie. What about in the Batman? We set up a little bit more Dick Grayson.
Yes.
And then have like the sub characters converge together, and you almost have like your B Team Avengers type thing going on. Except for
your new Avengers.
Except for you have time to correctly set them up.
Yeah.
Because it'd be like what like
and
the way
tell everyone they fucking learned their lesson from BVS.
The way that the Marvel expertly set up Hawkeye and Black Widow. Like you had bits and pieces, and it eventually built up to where you can do a little bit more with them because they haven't been delved into, but they are established. So like that could be really, really well done. If they announced 2019 November 1st movie is Titans, that would be another one I'm really excited for because I fucking love the Teen Titans. Like that cartoon's amazing. I just hope they wouldn't fuck it up.
Yeah, I mean, all the rumors for the TNT thing was that they were going to be adult and it was going to be darker. Obviously, as it's live action, and they're adult and it's a bit more serious, and that could still be cool. Just leave in some of the humor from what we know from the cartoon, because what do you know or care about Titans other than Teen Titans?
Not much.
Exactly. Everyone that would be seeing that movie would be seeing it because they remember Teen Titans.
Yeah.
So it needs to mirror that in some way. But sure, go ahead and make it darker and stuff, but leave the soul of it there, goddammit.
I'm hoping it's Batman and Titans. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
While we're talking about it, I just want to quickly plug, for the love of God, YouTube or Google the Grand Theft Auto 5 mod of The Flash. It is the greatest fucking thing you've ever seen. Someone modded in GTA 5 the ability to do the freaking Flash NATO.
Yes.
And it's the most incredible thing I think I've ever seen.
And then to even have zoom and reverse flash.
Oh my god, it's the best.
I want to buy Grand Theft Auto 5 just for this mod.
If I'm fucking, like, we speculated before, like Rocksteady, like what they're doing next. Look at that. Hire that dude.
Yes.
Come make me a Flash game, dude. Like that looked, I mean, obviously it's the aesthetic of GTA 5, but those mechanics, that could be a freaking Flash game just sitting there, and that was fan made, like.
And it was fucking awesome.
It was awesome. Check that out, though. Okay, that was all of the
he was
DC...
throwing lightning bolts, Jeff.
Dude. I want it now. That was the DC portion. We're going to switch over to Marvel right now.
Fuck yes.
And first up...
Fuck yes.
Doctor Strange himself has completed principal photography. New York pics this week have revealed quite a bit. We've got more shots of, obviously, Cumberbatch and... Geofor running around. The biggest reveal from these set photos was probably Mads Mikkelsen, which is crazy that they just finished filming, and this was the first time we've seen the villain. Like, Marvel actually knows how to keep the shit under wraps, which I really appreciate. He is still unnamed. There's really no way to know exactly who he is, because there's some speculation going around that he is a villain named Nightmare. And the only people have been able to speculate that is if you are like hella hardcore into Doctor Strange. So we've speculated maybe he's possessed by Dormammu, either beknownst or unbeknownst to the viewer until later on.
Right.
The special effects aren't even finished because they're probably going to have an augment to it with the CGI. But just the practical effect of what they've done to Mikkelsen's eyes.
That's fucking makeup.
It looks their eyes all look like they've been just kind of burned, and it's
the flesh is burning away from the eyes. Dude, like, look at this. That's fucking makeup.
Yeah, Google to see the images we're talking about, Doctor Strange set photos, and search around until you see Mads Mikkelsen in there. All looks great. Cannot freaking wait. November 4th.
He's going to be fucking creepy. He's going to be so creepy.
And who's the director?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I cannot wait for this movie. I need it now, Marvel.
While they were there, really cool side story. Cumberbatch and the crew went with Cumberbatch in full costume to a local comic shop, and he went in and bought Doctor Strange comics. Could you imagine being the geek working the counter, and fucking Cumberbatch in full garb comes up to you to buy
Doctor
comics?
Strange walks in and buys his own comic book.
But like, life after that, you're just going downhill. Like, it's never gonna get any better than that.
Yeah.
It's the coolest fucking thing. So awesome. There was that's Derrickson, the director, right there. There's one really funny one where it shows Cumberbatch checking out. And Scott Derrickson, the director, has his phone up, either recording it or taking pictures, just like grinning like a little kid. It's so awesome.
Dude, that is so fucking cool.
Cannot wait. Last thing to do with Doctor Strange tomorrow, or no, Doctor
12th.
Strange, April 12th, next Tuesday. It was tomorrow? It was Rogue One tomorrow.
Yes.
Doctor Strange next Tuesday, April 12th. Jimmy Kimmel. People actually have to watch Jimmy Kimmel for once, so good for him. It was always Jimmy Kimmel has been getting a lot of exclusive trailers, and I didn't make the connection until like today when someone pointed out, oh, his shits is the one talk show on ABC, which is owned by Disney, which Disney owns half the planet now. So that is the only reason anyone is watching Jimmy Kimmel.
Pretty
basically.
much. It sure as hell isn't because of his opinion on watching video game movies and YouTube stuff.
I don't really like
Let's
Jimmy
Play
Kimmel.
Stuff. I really don't
I don't either. Like,
it's a bit of a douche, I think.
he's not
even really that funny.
He's not even that funny. He does seem like a douche, and he isn't a lovable douche like Colbert is sometimes. Right. It's, I don't know, but we're gonna off topic. Fucking, I will be watching his goddamn show next
Colbert
Tuesday.
is my fucking spirit animal, you asshole. I'll talk about him all I want.
Next Tuesday, I might actually have to be watching live cable, which is like crazy for me. I watch everything on demand. Cannot be more excited. What do you think? Do you think it's... They didn't say teaser. From what I saw from like Marvel and Disney, is like this is a trailer. So do you think maybe like a minute and a half trailer? I don't think it's going to be a full one until later on when they do D23 or Civil War.
I'm thinking probably 2 minutes.
I'm thinking it'll be like a minute and a half. Because also, since it's a part of one of the late night shows, they're a little time constrictive too, so I could see it being like a minute and a half.
But all of it being Disney, they can make time for it.
That's true. We'll see. If it's 30 seconds, I'll be shitting my pants. I don't really care.
Yeah, dude. Whatever it is, it's going to be gold.
Can't wait to see how they have augmented the effects. I really want to see if they have any teasers of the alternate realities, like Jeff and Ron crack in its purest form. One of the other trailers has been popping up out of Marvel is we have some new TV spots for Civil War, and Ron and I have officially not watched any of them because the last thing I saw that I will see...
That was all I needed to see.
Was all we needed to see was that Spider-Man one. But if you are interested and are not as spoiler conscientious as me and Ron are, it was apparently this newest one, Cap fighting Black Panther.
Sorry, I'm over here laughing to myself because we can't talk about that Spider-Man trailer without the text message conversation you and I had where I was like, dude, they fucking did the Deadpool thing to his eyes, and you're like, no, you're like, you're shitting me.
I was all caps, you're shitting me. I still can't.
Did you like, I'm not watching it. You're shitting me. I have to watch it. And then you watched it.
I think as soon as you were like, Spider-Man, Deadpool eyes, it's just like, YouTube. Where is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the new one is Cap fighting Black Panther, which if you are familiar at all, Cap's shield is made of vibranium, and all the vibranium in the world comes from Wakanda.
Yeah.
So it's vibranium in the geekiest, most fucking incredible of ways.
Yeah.
Give me it now. This is another thing I wanted to plug. If you have not seen the MCU Exchange, this is a channel that is like, it's basically fan made, but they are like somewhat legitimate. Like, all they specialize is they actually have a whole website. It's just devoted to MCU shit.
That's pretty cool.
They have made a mashup trailer which covers basically I think the video is called "The Road to Civil War."
I believe so.
If you YouTube search MCU Exchange trailer, I think you'll probably find it. It's like 7 minutes and 3 seconds or something like that. It is more professionally done than 9 times out of 10 the trailers are from the actual studios are.
Yeah.
Like
MCU Supercut Road to Civil War.
These were fans. The Ghostbusters trailers were paid to do that shit.
The fan-made Ghostbusters one was better.
The fan-made Ghostbusters one. And this Civil War thing is good enough to have been, like, released by the Russo brothers at D23 last year or something.
Yeah.
Like, it is fucking excellent. So I also encourage you to check that out. We've got one more thing MCU related to get to real quick. Sony has ordered domain names that has teased what could be the title for Spider-Man. The most prominent one that has been making the rounds over the internet the most is Spider-Man Homecoming. Pretty lame,
but awesome at the same time.
but really cool at the same time because there's context behind it of, like, it is cool that MCU has their boy back.
Yeah.
You know? The rest of them were pretty fucking bad. Like, one of them was Spider-Man: Coming of Age.
Coming of Age of Ultron.
It sounds like a CW caliber, like, PSA of Spider-Man warning against the dangers of, like, unprotected sex. Like, that's what that fucking sounds like. Yeah, there were other ones that you could find and laugh about because there were other ones that were pretty. Coming of Age was one that stuck out to me as being the worst, but there were some other pretty bad ones. But if it's, first of all, I don't think any of these are actually gonna be the name. They do this all the time, and first of all,
it's just basically news because it's Spider-Man MCU.
And we gobble up everything we can Spider-Man, but. The important thing to point out
that's why he's warning about the dangers of unprotected sex. Because we gobble everything Spider-Man.
No kidding.
My Spider-Man Band-Aid comes up.
But Sony and Marvel, obviously, the only thing Spider-Man related is surely not going to just be Civil War. He's going to be pimped out over everything imaginable, including fucking licensed official Band-Aids, shit like that.
Yeah.
So it's totally normal for them to order domain names that are totally separate from the movies.
Basically, it's a contingency. I mean, they got to have this shit now because someone will get it later and they can't have it. Is what it is.
So I should go and, like, gobble up the Spider-Man birth control. Just to try to get them to pay me for one of their domains later. Yeah, I think it's going to end up being something hopefully a little more clever and cool, but, you know, we'll wait and see. It comes out in 2017. I guarantee you at D23 there is Spider-Man shit galore. So I bet you we have a trailer and the title at D23, which is sometime before Comic-Con. I'm not sure. I expect
Spider-Man news at D23 this year to overshadow everything.
Especially because they have Star Wars Rogue One, but it's not an episode Star Wars movie. It's not as big of a deal, even though it's fucking Star Wars.
They're losing Robert Downey Jr., they're losing Chris Evans, they're losing all of them when their contracts are up.
Spider-Man has to be the flagship.
Yep.
Has to be. That's a wrap for the movie news. We're going to transition over to TV. The Walking Dead. I can basically freely talk about this without spoiling anything because the fucking internet made damn sure that you knew Negan was a thing.
Yes, they did.
The Walking Dead Season 6 Blu Ray will have fully uncensored Negan that is basically, from what I've gathered, directly taken off the comic panels. They did a fantastic job in the show of adapting him, but the Negan in the comic loves the word fuck.
No fucking way.
Every other, Kirkman comes up with some of the most creative ways to use the word fuck that I cannot wait for you to eventually read the comic because you're just like, that's amazing.
Is it homage to George Carlin?
It's like George Carlin on crack, dude.
Well, I mean, he did go to rehab.
George Carlin on even more crack, Ron. Yeah. After the show wraps up, you think at that point you'll visit the comic? Because you have to read the comic.
Probably.
It is a completely different experience from the show.
I'm sure. I mean, I've seen a little bit of it on Chris's Nook that I downloaded, and I have hardback edition upstairs that's still in shrink wrap. I've never opened.
I recommend because it is such a different experience, and it's just like the ultimate freaking page turner. Like, what was funny is before Walking Dead actually became a show, I was at Cinemark, and I got just about every coworker I knew hooked on the Walking Dead comics because I was almost like the gateway drug guy. I mean, like, I would go up and hand someone.
Hey kids, you want to read some Walking Dead?
I would go up and show and give someone the first graphic novel, which is like the first like 6 issues. And they would come back from break. It's like, Jeff, I need volume 2. And then
volume 1's what I have in hardback upstairs.
One of my other coworkers be like, I see you got some of that Walking Dead. Can I try some of that? Like, it's crazy how addictive it is. Because Robert Kirkman is a master at the art of the 22-page comic issue. That dude's a goddamn machine, man. They're on issue, the newest one, 154.
Really?
It has been going on for, I think, 12 years.
Good Lord.
Yeah, and it's still good. It's crazy. He's a machine. But yeah, if you are interested in checking out fully uncensored raw Negan, check out the Blu Ray for that. I don't really buy Blu Rays for shows anymore.
My love for Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I'm all about raw Negan.
Fuck yeah, dude. Because if you thought that was bad, just wait till the unrated version. But it'll probably come on YouTube as well once it comes out. So that's probably where I'll be seeing it. One of our other favorite shows is Game of Thrones.
Yes.
I included this just to rant about how much I fucking hate.
Since when do we rant on this show?
There are no expletives in this rantless show. Game of Thrones is getting an after show.
Why?
Because every fucking thing apparently needs an after show.
That's our job. That's what you and I do.
It's like these TV networks don't realize the internet was invented.
Right?
If this is 1995, fucking cool. It's totally fine. But why now?
It's funny that they're doing this now because if you go to any podcast website, if you go to Stitcher, iTunes, wherever, and type in Better Call Saul, there's like 30 Better Call Saul podcasts just devoted to it that come out weekly after the new episodes. Same with Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Doctor Who, The Flash. If it's a show on TV, it has like at least 20 podcasts devoted to it. So why are these a thing now?
And the important thing to remember is that those people on YouTube doing it at all these different networks and stuff on YouTube can actually call them out when the show is bad.
Yeah.
When have you ever heard anyone on The Talking Dead criticize The Walking Dead for doing dumb shit? Never. They're on the fucking net. Like,
They're on the payroll.
It is so disingenuous.
Yeah.
It is not Talking Dead. It is sucking the dick of The Walking Dead.
But, Talking Dead's a much shorter name.
Yeah, and more catchy.
Concise.
And the other thing, the fucking name for the Game of Thrones is one of the most genius it has a mythology.
Anyone listening right now should know that I got a day-long rant from Jeff, text after text. This is a better name for the show. This is a better name for the show.
I'm gonna fucking tell what the better names, and it took me like 45 seconds. The name of the actual thing is After the Thrones. Are you fucking kidding me?
See,
did you run a contest at the local elementary school to name the after show?
After the Thrones is what I think of when I get up off the toilet.
That is a better TV show than what they're making. No, but
dude, now I'm hungry all of a sudden. What am I going to eat?
For at least, as much as I disagree and think Talking Dead is disingenuous, at least it was a pretty clever name.
Yeah.
It was a play on words, and it's Talking Dead. It's kind of has like a funny little pun to it. It fits it. After the fucking Thrones, are you serious, HBO? This is HBO. It is. Seriously, it took me, a minute to come up with Tonight's Watch. Million fucking times better name. Our watch has ended.
It could be Tonight's Watch with a K.
Yeah. In fact, none of you fuckers out there not listening to this take this. Because if we ever do a recap show of Game of Thrones, we're going to call it Tonight's Watch, because I really like that name. Our watch has ended is another cool little plan. We're like, for fuck's sake, that took me 45 fucking seconds, HBO. Are you... like you were talking about, I love Better Call Saul. What the fuck are you going to talk about on an after show? Well, tonight's episode's really good.
Had some more lawyer stuff.
I really like that.
Things happen.
I really like that Mike guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. Orphan Black. What the fuck?
It has one?
It has one, or it's getting one for this new season.
Wow.
Dude, it's just garbage. I hate that trend in Hollywood. I love you, Chris Hardwick, but I wish you had never made Talking Dead, because it is so annoying what everyone else has piggybacked on. And that is exactly why they exist. They piggyback off their own fucking ratings because they can associate the brand, which gets ratings. It's purely to sell ad revenue during their commercials. That is the only reason they exist.
I am guilty of Talking Dead, but only after the season premieres and the season finales. I set those to record.
This is what I will also say. When on these after shows, specifically Talking Dead is usually pretty good about it. If it is focused around talking to the cast and crew, that is totally fine.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time, they bring in random asshat celebrity to give their fucking opinion on the episode. That is garbage.
Yeah.
Why
the premiere and the finales usually have cast members.
Why the fuck
or
do I need Aisha Taylor's fucking reaction to episode 4 of the season of The Walking Dead? Go fuck yourself, Talking Dead. But speaking of another thing that shouldn't fucking exist, we're going to talk about this next story. So this
isn't the TV section. This is the Jeff Rant section.
I'm on a roll. Let's keep it going. So that Doctor Who show we both like so much, Ron.
Yeah,
is it not
the one we're not getting till next year?
Yeah, that one. Oh no, we can go pay $99 to Amazon and watch all you want, Ron.
Fuck that.
But what we can watch is like, you know that Doctor Who show we like so much. You know how like the coolest thing about it is like you can literally do anything with Doctor Who.
Oh yeah,
the world, it's its own mythology.
It's an open book. It writes itself.
It is the most expansive piece of fiction ever. You know what we're fucking getting? Clara's goddamn students.
Fuck yes. This is what I've been waiting for, Jeff.
I'm shaking my head, dude.
Jeff, it's Cole Hill.
Why? This is
Jeff.
like how it took me 45 seconds to come up with better Game of Thrones names. You and I spent like 10 minutes on a previous episode just coming up with a billion other better ideas for a freaking Doctor Who spinoff.
A spinoff focusing around the Cyberman mouse thing from that James Corden episode would have been much better than this.
I just came up with one actually while we were talking. A short film series dedicated to K9.
Dude.
And if you had it from the perspective of K9, and this is another little thing that you could do that'd be really cool. He can't outright like save the day every time, but it's kind of him like wanting to help, but like the doctor's like shoving him away, like no, I'm doing this right now. It's like it's like from K9's perspective, like,
or there's the perspective of he is what influenced saving the day. No one knows he did it.
Yeah,
but he's the one that caused whatever was supposed to work. No,
we're not getting a spinoff with like a short film of like Martha's dad, or not Martha's. What's fucking the grandpa we like?
Oh yeah,
Donna's dad or grandpa, whatever he
grandpa.
was. We don't get a short film of him. We don't get any K9. We don't get any with Martha and Mickey.
We don't get Unit.
We don't get Unit. We don't get, dude, a short film on the original construction of his.
Give me the next season of Torchwood before you give me this.
A short film on the construction and showing the TARDIS being built.
Yeah.
Anything. But what we're getting is a sexy, quote unquote, Buffy like
British Buffy.
Even though it goddamn nothing to do with Buffy. This freaking show, dude.
Give me British Buffy before you give me this.
It's like, you know how Buffy, was like that innovative thing with all that weed and charm? We got none of that. What we got is Clara's kids.
Here's my favorite part. Here's my favorpe part of this.
You got the quotes, don't you?
Yes, I do. The only quote that matters is, keep in mind this is referring to the Patrick Ness written show, which he's an award-winning young adult writer. Stephen Moffat says, class is dark and sexy, and right now I've always wondered if there could be a British Buffy. It's taken the brilliant Patrick Ness to figure out how to make it happen. So, I get the feeling that this is basically Saved by the Bell in Twilight.
With a splash of Goosebumps.
With a splash of Goosebumps. Jack Black Goosebumps.
Not even the good Goosebumps. Dude, how is this a thing? And then, okay, this is
if they're like middle schoolers or even high schoolers, how is it going to be dark and sexy?
Yeah, that is creepy. That is some like... They're
like 15.
It's like the people doing the press for this are the Lannisters. Like, but this is another thing we talked about earlier off mic, and we probably have talked about it before. If this was a 6-episode series online, where each episode was like 15 minutes long, that's fucking fine. This is like a full order, I think like 15 or 16 episode of like 40 minutes, or it's at least bare minimum 13, like a Doctor Who order.
Yeah.
Why? If we sat here and tried about it for 10 more minutes, we could come up with probably 10 more better ideas. Before I blow a gasket...
Give me a day in the life on the planet Scaro before you give me class, dude.
I would watch a freaking Davros Breaking Bad type thing any day of the week over this.
I would watch, like... $2 so I was getting to shenanigans in high school on Scaro before I would watch this. Yeah.
It's painful.
One of them is an alien. That's about all we know about the plot.
What's the Sontaran dude who's always the funny guy?
Yeah.
Do something with him.
Do something with him.
I don't even really like him, but the lizard girl and the other girl do something with them.
So much more. They're Sherlock Holmes and Watson.
Yeah, you could do and he's fucking from Sherlock. You could do a little mystery show with them.
Because like, they straight up say that the people writing about their adventures are covering it up with Sherlock Holmes and Watson.
It's mind-boggling.
Yeah,
it's mind-boggling.
Why not?
But yeah, before we blow a fucking gasket talking about this goddamn Doctor Who spinoff,
we're gonna blow a gasket on something else.
last topic of the day is our only gaming news. We're probably not going to have any gaming news until we talk about Dark Souls 3 and Uncharted 4 once it comes out next month. But Naughty Dog, if you're not familiar with them, they are probably my favorite current gaming company outside of FromSoft, the Dark Souls guys. Platinum too, they're up there.
We played one game.
They're already we played one game and saw one trailer. Like third favorite company. There are no Kanazis though. There are no Kanazis. No one is. Naughty Dog is the company behind The Last of Us and the Uncharted series. I forget who it was, but one of their higher ups.
And Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider is Square Enix.
Oh, that's right. Fuck them.
But they're making Final Fantasy sequential. Fuck them. You maybe lose my train of thought. Naughty Dog. Talking about Square Enix. I was about to went on another rant. Fucking someone else. Okay, one of the higher ups at Naughty Dog. I didn't catch their name, but they have basically said it's looking pretty fucking grim about the adaptations of these two series as far as The Last of Us and Uncharted into actual Hollywood films. Specifically Uncharted, they said the way the process has been going is the people who were high up enough in Naughty Dog to have story input to help them with the movies are getting scripts in every now and then to basically throw back notes about what we think works and doesn't work about the script that you're currently working on. They said they haven't gotten one in a while, which is mind-boggling to me because Last of Us and Uncharted are already movies.
Yeah.
It's not even adapting a book. It's in a visual form.
You know what would be great?
Sitting there.
You know what would be great instead? Do a 8-part miniseries.
Yeah.
Netflix, HBO, something.
But I think they're associated.
Something we can watch. Don't go to Stars or Showtime.
Right. I think it's I think they are bought up basically with Sony.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Uncharted. Basically, they said that we haven't gotten a script thrown at us in a while. They said the last they heard was they had a screenwriter change. That's not a good sign this late in the game because they already have
if they're buckled in with Sony. Sony don't give a shit right now. They're trying to get Spider-Man off the ground in the MCU right now.
And the other one was they haven't heard anything on the Last of Us movie in a year and a half. That's devastating to me. It's such a cool. The Last of Us is one of the best movies I've seen in the last 10 years.
Give it time.
We've
got Warcraft coming. And
Assassin's Creed.
We've got Assassin's Creed coming, and those are game changers, Jeff.
Buzzword. Buzzword.
Fucking hate that term, but it applies to the video game movies, I guess.
Yeah, we just need one of them to hit. For the love of God, don't let both of those suck. If both of those suck, we're set back 20 years.
Yep, easily.
Like, until it will not be approached again with video games until the superhero thing has run dry.
Yep.
Like, that is the only time. Because, for the love of God, just let one of them be good and make money. That's all we need. Because, dude, arguably my favorite game is The Last of Us. One of my top 3 or 4 favorite series of all time is Uncharted. Like, they're so good. They are interactive movies.
Yeah.
They're sitting there in visual format. Just fucking do it.
Do it.
If we actually had our drop stuff, that would have been a good time.
I know, it would have been a great time.
But yeah, it's just devastating. Like, Hollywood is so desperate for franchises. There's 2 of them just sitting there waiting.
Because those games are long enough and interesting enough. They're easily trilogies.
And what's hilarious is each of them are easier to adapt than Warcraft and Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
It's just mind-boggling. Hollywood really frustrates me sometimes. I'm not as pissed off about this as I am about fucking BBC, but it's pretty devastating.
Actually, now that I think about it, they may not be easier to adapt than Assassin's Creed.
I think they are. Dude, Last of Us is literally The Walking Dead with mushrooms when you think about it.
It is, but also when you think about it, it's structured so much like a movie that you'd have the same problem, I think, with trying to adapt a book down into a 2-hour movie.
I agree.
Whereas a lot of like the Assassin's Creed gameplay time is gameplay because there's not a whole lot of the movie elements.
I think I totally agree with you with Last of Us. I think Uncharted is very easy to adapt.
Yeah,
because Uncharted has a lot of.
But that's why I think 8-part miniseries, because there's so much going on in those games.
First of all, I totally agree with you because I want everything that can be adapted that makes sense into miniseries or TV shows adapted in that way. Because the TV game, it's the golden age of TV, is what I always say.
You've got 4 8-part miniseries with Uncharted. Use the same fucking titles.
If I was Hulu, I would be really on point with
Especially
this.
since all their original stuff sucks.
I really like 11/22/63.
Well, okay, there's 2 that I'm interested in, but all their comedies and all that shit they advertise is garbage.
Yeah. But yeah, it's still frustrating. If we go 10 years without seeing a Last of Us or Uncharted project, that's a damn shame, and them wasting great IP.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be a wrap for our episode today. If you would like to check us out more,
we're gonna calm down now.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
I'm tired.
We're gonna go take a nap and then come back. If you'd like to check us out more, make sure and like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You get all of our content there. If you're interested in checking out our social media links below, go ahead and follow those and follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Most importantly, if you, for whatever reason, are a crazy person and enjoy hearing Ron and I lose fucking our minds over just the most pointless things like a Doctor Who spinoff, share us out to your friends or family members you think might also enjoy us. I am Jeff.
I'm Ron.
And we will catch you guys next week.